We are live. Happy Friday, the 8th of December, everyone. Thank you for joining this live stream. And if you're not watching live, thank you for clicking on the video. Make sure you enable the live chat replay, because at the end of these live streams, I always jump over to the live chat and answer some questions or talk through any topics that have been discussed. So make sure you do that. But thank you for joining. So today we have, as always, Palantir is a crazy, crazy company to follow. And today, like pretty much every day that we go live on this channel, there's news. There's stuff that we need to speak about. Today is no different, but today's very exciting because we have a new partnership. That's what we need to speak about. We also need to speak about some commentary that's been happening regarding what an analyst has said, and then Palantir have corrected that analyst. We'll get into all of that later on. And then, of course, at the end, we will look at what Palantir stock is doing pre-market, and we'll talk about whether people are buying, selling, and all of that good stuff, as we always do. So let's talk about this new, I say new partnership, but it's not quite new. I'll show you exactly what's going on here. So here it is. This was announced yesterday. So Fujitsu and Palantir to strengthen strategic partnership to solve societal challenges and accelerate business transformation globally. That's a mouthful. What on earth does that mean? Well, hopefully this article will actually tell us. But I think the first thing to say here is that this is not a new partnership in terms of they've never worked together before. Palantir and Fujitsu have had a partnership that was first announced in 2020. Yep, here we go. First announced in 2020, but now they are expanding, they are strengthening, and they are exceeding that partnership that they had. That is great news. That's great news for us Palantir investors, and we'll talk about this in just a minute. So firstly, who are Fujitsu? If you've never heard of them, they are a world-leading public sector IT service provider. They help public sector organizations harness the power of technology to improve citizens' lives. Our digital government solutions ensure autonomy, secure sharing, and data protection. So bear that in mind, and we'll see exactly what this new partnership is all about. Integrating Palantir's AI and data integrations capability into Fujitsu's Uvance offerings. Now, if you've not heard of Fujitsu's Uvance before, it's quite a new thing that they've launched, but it's basically a portfolio of like solutions and services that Fujitsu actually offer to help them in their quest for their vision, which is to create like a more sustainable world and solve issues through digital technologies, as far as I understand. So it's like their platform. So let's just read some of this article and see what's going on. So they announced yesterday. Oh no, today. Japan though, what time zone are they in? Anyway, that they've signed an agreement to develop a strategic global partnership with the support of Palantir Technologies, focusing on the solution of societal issues and the acceleration of business transformation. Under this partnership, Palantir and Fujitsu will incorporate Palantir's AI and data integration capabilities as key elements in the data infrastructure for Uvance. I hope that's how you say it. It literally tells us what it is here. A portfolio of global solutions that address business challenges and solve societal issues, and will begin providing services in the Japanese market, this is important, in 2023, bearing in mind that's coming to an end very soon, and then markets including North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific in 2024. A lot of different like global areas named there. They initially entered a strategic collaboration to strengthen the digital transformation sector in the Japanese market back in 2020. So this is that deal I just showed you. Since then, Fujitsu have been Palantir Japan's exclusive flagship technology partner in Japan, helping customers achieve digital transformation in manufacturing, utility, financial services, and public sector. So again, Palantir's software, Palantir's solutions can be used in a vast range of different sectors. They are not a company that offers a solution that can only be utilized in a very niche area. They are one of these companies that are generalizing themselves. They are able to put their fingers in, work with any company, any different sector, and For us as investors, as long as they're providing the best solutions, because obviously niching down is quite a good thing in business, because you can create your market. But in terms of if they are able to provide the best solutions, which as Palantir investors, we think they absolutely are, then the fact that they can work with such a wide range of different companies in different sectors is great, because our total addressable market is massive. As a strategic alliance partner, Fujitsu will expand the scope of this collaboration beyond the Japanese market to North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. The partnership will leverage Fujitsu's know-how developed through in-house. They couldn't say this summarize this any better. And case studies for customers in Japan. Okay, cool. And then global markets. So this is important. Fujitsu will develop a service that incorporates the capabilities of Palantir Foundry, which integrates and manages large-scale data distributed across Palantir's various systems into the data infrastructure for Fujitsu Uvance. Palantir AIP, which securely activates LLMs and other AI on customers' private networks, will also be integrated and provided to customers. So Fujitsu are utilizing Palantir's solutions and working with them so that they can then provide better services, better solutions to their customers. So I guess kind of like a consultancy relationship that they have with their clients. This will empower customers to connect and leverage processes and data that are fragmented across organizations. Leverage processes and data that are fragmented. I think that just sums up the one of the biggest benefits of Palantir. We keep circling back to this idea of fragmented data, using data better, leveraging processes. Every partnership that we see has some sort of wording like that. Cool. So they will first work to deliver services in ESG management and SCM areas that contribute to solving societal issues and business transformation, and gradually expand the target areas. So we'll watch just a quick clip in a minute of Alex Karp actually talking about, and a guy from Fujitsu talking on CNBC about what this partnership actually means. But essentially, that's a pretty big undertaking, solving some of societal's challenges and issues. So we're talking about CO2 levels, and we'll get into all of that in a minute. But just before we do that, I want to discuss why this is important. I guess I've got three things here. Let's just get the first one out of the way because it's nice and easy. Obviously, with partnerships, often comes money. And as far as I'm understanding, this expansion of this contract that they've just announced yesterday is a $40 million deal. Great. That's obviously good. But let's talk about some of the other impacts here. Time and time again, we are seeing partnerships that already exist with Palantir and another company expand and go further than what they originally were. That shows us that Palantir are providing value. That gives us as investors that have never utilized Foundry, that have never seen AIP in action, the confidence to know that what Palantir are doing are really providing value to those companies. They are solving problems that are fundamentally changing businesses. That is really, really great, obviously. So they're providing good enough value for these companies to turn around to Palantir and say, hey, look, we want to expand our contract. We want to see how else you can help us. What we've got so far is amazing, and we don't want this contract and this partnership to end. How else can we work together? And we're seeing that not just with this, but we're seeing that time and time and time again. And secondly, it said here, didn't it, about them using Palantir's Foundry, but now they're going to be using Palantir's AIP. We know that AIP is, it's in demand. From everything that we've learned, it's in demand. We are looking at this product, this platform, to be the thing that takes Palantir, in my opinion, to that next level. And it seems like two things are happening. Either customers that already utilize Foundry and the other core platforms are then being upsold AIP. They work with Foundry already, and then they're saying, actually, we want to integrate AI. We know you have AIP. Can we have a look to see how we can use that as a business? So they're extending work like that, or they're doing the opposite. they don't work with Palantir. They've heard about AIP. They want AIP. They go to a boot camp. And then because they need everything else that comes with Foundry and the ontology and need all that in place to utilize AIP to the best of its ability, Palantir are then able to upsell Foundry. So it's working, they're hitting clients in both ways, which I think is really, really strong. Now, the last point here is that this means global expansion. For a while, Palantir has been quite strong, and they still are, in expanding within the US market. We know this. We've seen it. But more and more contracts, more and more partnerships are coming up nowadays, like with the NHS one, whereby it's not based commercially on the commercial side in the US, it's actually on the commercial side elsewhere. This one, obviously, a Japanese company, but they have been working in Japan and they're now going global and working in North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. This is good. This is what we want. We want them to carry on expanding. We want them to be a global company working with many, many sectors. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So I'm very excited about this. And I'm more excited not just on the money side of it, but more so that it's global and that it clearly means Palantir are being valuable and are able to upsell. That's pretty good. Okay. So let's now watch, and I have to stop sharing my screen and reshare it as a different. Again, as always, because technology seems to hate me, give me a thumbs up in the live stream if when I press this video, you can actually hear it. We're only going to watch about a minute or so of this video because not all of it's relevant to this news, but this will just help give some further information about this new partnership. So let me present this here. Make sure my volume's up. Okay, right. I'm looking for one of these in the live chat so I know that you can hear.
$40 million deal to its slew of recent partnerships. It's hitting the tape right now. The 168% gains in Palantir shares this year reflect a bunch of multinational deals the company has made. And now there is a brand new one with Japanese IT provider Fujitsu that aims to broaden their current tie-up benefits here to the U.S. Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive is Palantir CEO Alex Karp and Fujitsu Global Tech Lead Yoshinami Takahashi.
Just quickly, Alex Karp's hair here. It is on point. Look at that. He has got it going both ways. Okay, let's continue.
Great to have you both. Alex, I'll start with you. Palantir and Fujitsu have been collaborating since 2020 on Fujitsu's enterprise digital transformation business. What about this new deal? What does it accomplish? How does it fit with the U.S.?
Well, Fujitsu is one of the most competent engineering organizations in the world. Palantir, we just can't keep up with our product demand. We looked for and found ideal partners for our services. We are just breaking at the seams in the U.S., and they are going to help us grow even more rapidly for providing their very, very competent services to the U.S. market while we are able to scale our product. And that just, it's a very big issue for us. Demand for AIP has been unprecedented. We built aspects for enterprise AI that are unique. The market's beginning to recognize it, and we need help, and they're helping us, and they're very competent. We like working with them.
Takahashi-san, Fujitsu has an AI lab, I know, working on the development of LLMs or large language models, but so are many of your global rivals. How does this particular deal with Palantir, how is it going to position you in that race? And when you say you're working together to solve societal challenges, can you just give us some granularity about that?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Liz. One of the things we want to achieve by 2025 is to kind of provide all the enterprise customer, but also the government around the business proposition that will resolve the society issue. Either it may be like a CO2 suppression, not only like articulation of the CO2 emission itself, but using Palantir's technology coupled with Fujitsu's IP. It's more about like not articulation of CO2 itself, but how do we suppress the CO2? Also like supply chain efficiency. Through AI and Palantir's data aggregation technology, we think there's a big impact that we can bring together. not
Sure.
only into Japanese market, but also like the US market. Our aim to kind of, through this partnership, the business scope is around over $5 billion. And again, Palantir Technology is going to play a vital role in making sure that we use the technology, incorporate it into our solution, and provide to the customer. Yes.
Alex, you've been vocal about.
Okay, did you just hear what? Let me stop sharing. Did you just hear what Alex Karp said at the beginning there? I can't remember the exact phrase that he said, but he said they can't keep up with the product demand and it's unprecedented and they're breaking at the seams in the US. That's pretty bullish. And we've heard this time and time again. They keep telling us in earnings, in different interviews, they keep telling us how in demand AIP is. And I really hope that when they monetize it, us investors see that. I'm very hopeful. Anyway, his hair there was quite something, wasn't it? Let's now jump over to the next piece of commentary / news. But I hope that video gave you some clarity on what they're doing here, this partnership. I saw a comment. Where is it? Just joined. What have I missed? Very, very quick overview. Palantir and Fujitsu have expanded their partnership that they started in 2020. $40 million, global expansion, and upselling AIP by the looks of it. Very good. Very bullish. So let's now move on. Remember, leave your questions, any comments in the live chat, and we'll come back to that. So we spoke about this a few days ago, I think, on a live, or I made a video about it. I don't know. Everything is just blurred into one. I just talk about Palantir and Tesla continuously. I think it was on a live stream. There is this analyst, William Blair analyst, you can see here, named Louis De Palma, and he has been very vocally bearish on Palantir. He's given it some very low price targets. He's given it the sell rating, and he's made some commentary time and time again about Palantir as a company that people that are very bullish on the company definitely wouldn't agree with. Anyway, let's just recap what's happened so then I can jump over to what's just happened and it will all make sense. So he maintained their bearish stance on Palantir stock, giving a sell rating on November the 21st. We've spoken about this. Due to a combination of factors facing Palantir, current contractual relationships and potential future conflicts over data ownership with major clients. He observes that in a recent statement from the US Army, so he basically came out and said that a statement's been made by the US Army. Either he heard it directly or through his sources. I don't really know. But the statement that he made was not good, didn't look good for Palantir. And it's come out since then that this may have been a little bit of a fib. So recent statements from the US Army, which is a significant client for Palantir. Yeah, the US Army is absolutely crucial and massive for Palantir as a company. Indicate a desire to move away from proprietary data solutions. The Army's intent to shift towards open source vendors suggests a decrease in reliance on Palantir's services. So to come out and say that the US Army has said that what they've said indicates a desire to move away from Palantir's services is a pretty bearish thing to come out and say if it is not completely accurate, which could impact the company's revenue. Yeah, massively, especially given the upcoming contract renewal. And we have, the Titan project, we've got all of that coming up. We've got lots of things happening with the US government. It wouldn't look good if this was true. This uncertainty around the contract's value and future Army related revenue streams is a key factor in William Blair's and his selling rating. Furthermore, he interpreted the Army's plans as an indication of potential friction. I just got a notification on my phone that I have received a dividend. Anyway, interpreted the Army's plans as an indication of potential friction regarding the ownership of data that may arise with Palantir's commercial licensing model. The Army's stance on maintaining the ownership of its data as opposed to allowing it to become proprietary through vendor solutions points to a misalignment with Palantir's business practices. And then that could mean that they look elsewhere rather than work with Palantir. So you can imagine that Probably not so much on a large scale, but maybe some retail investors definitely sold out of their positions after that. They thought that Palantir were not going to be working with the US government much further. Very, very bearish statement and very bearish thing to say, indicating that there's some sort of ownership over data issue happening, which is a big concern considering a lot of people say that about Palantir. So that came out. Palantir gets painted as this company in the media, and people use things that just aren't true, fundamentally incorrect and inaccurate. We saw that with the NHS contract big time. Anyway, Palantir Hotline retweeted this. So Lisa Gordon, who is the head of global communications at Palantir, so someone in-house at Palantir, told Barron's there is no data ownership conflict between between Palantir, the US Army, or any other entity. She made it clear that Palantir doesn't hold ownership rights to any customer data. So what this analyst said, like you probably thought as I was reading that, is just wrong. It's incorrect. And just here as well. So it talks about the context of this. Palantir's head of communications said there is no data ownership between conflict between Palantir, the Army, or Palantir and the Army on Army Vantage or anywhere else or elsewhere. Palantir does not have or retain any ownership across government or commercial. They do not have ownership of data, and I am so bored of saying that to people. So then, the CFO of Palantir, I always say his name, CTO, sorry, I always say his name wrong. Is it Shyam? This guy. Very, very, I love his interviews. They're so informative, and he's such a good public speaker, in my opinion. Anyway, he then retweeted Crossroads on X and said this: the US Army has corrected the record that this analyst got wrong. So the US Army have had to come forward and say, we didn't say that. We didn't mean that. That's not what we're saying about Palantir. We have no issues, and we'll see what they say about Palantir whatsoever. And they had to actually come out and correct this analyst, which is so bad. And doesn't that go to show you that sometimes the retail investors that are doing their research sometimes know more about a company than the Wall Street analysts that are getting paid to do this? It's the same with Tesla. Maybe he just made a mistake. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. It's Friday. We're feeling nice, but it's mental. So they offered additional context regarding his remarks on data ownership. To clarify my remarks last week, our concern about data ownerships and rights is directed at the entire defense technology community regarding the Army's expectations of industry and will inform future data requirements across several programs. To be clear, we are satisfied with the Army Vantage program, its IP contract language, its open data environment to facilitate Army collaboration, and its connection with third-party tools. So there is no issue. This is all blown out of proportion, blown out of context. There isn't an issue that the US Army have with Palantir solutions, with issues over ownership of data, with connection with third-party tools. Irrelevant. It's just a shame that article came out and was probably seen by a lot of people the same way that when the articles are coming out about the NHS contract and Palantir is a spy company, keep Palantir out of the NHS or else they'll steal our data, all of that. It's the same thing. But I'm glad that this has been publicly corrected. So now let's go over to our good friend Palantir stock and see what's going on here. So pre-market 1733, up by 0.64%. Yesterday, it's for the last 5 days, look, 13.6%. So it seems to be falling, but it did hold itself yesterday a little bit better. It didn't fall too much. What are we going to have in store for us today? I don't know. Like I said yesterday, I've read a lot of things saying that we may end up seeing the $15 range again. Have to wait and see. I think that I've been speaking to a lot of people on my Discord. If you want to join, link is in the description, about Palantir and like when people are going to buy again or what people are doing right now. it seems like quite a lot of people are dollar cost averaging into the position, maybe more so when it drops like a lot under 20, rather than actually continually buying at that $20 price range. So let's now jump in over to some comments. Very good news. Yeah, absolutely good news. Thank you. This is the new channel. If you want to go and subscribe, it's at Stock Speak. It is my new channel that I'm making where I'm going to be sharing an overview of many, many stocks, not just Palantir and Tesla, as I do on this channel. So that the idea of the channel is to give an overview on a company so that someone can then know enough to know whether or not they are interested in doing their own further research. Videos coming very, very soon. I will let you know when. I'll put a community post on my YouTube channel or something like that. But yeah, I'm planning on filming those videos this weekend and then obviously editing them and getting them out. So maybe I'm aiming for next week to start posting on that channel. So please make sure you are subscribed. Thank you guys for joining. Good afternoon, good morning from North Carolina. Happy Friday. Yeah, my hair is down, not because it's Friday, but just because it's down. Good afternoon, end of the week. Hope everyone has a great one and investments are all moving in a positive direction. Yeah, let's see what happens to the market today and what Palantir decides to do. My wife worked for Fujitsu for a few years ago. Cool, cool, cool. Sounds like quite a cool company to work for, actually. Could you look at BYD on your new channel? It might be seriously competing with Tesla in years to come. Yeah, I think BYD is, okay, quickly off a tangent here. I think many legacy automotive companies that are existing right now, as we see the shift towards EVs, will not be around for years to come. I don't know how they will. They are currently losing so much money on EVs, and they're still, and if they're, some will lose money and eventually make money, like Rivian, for example. They are losing money, but they're losing less and less as time goes on. But there are many legacy companies out there that don't even think that they need to start investing into EVs. So as we see the shift from ICE vehicles to EVs, what is going to happen? Those companies will disappear. So what I'm saying is, I think Tesla, obviously, I'm a big investor in Tesla, my largest position, is going to be around. They've got much more than just their EV range, but they are obviously leading the market in EVs. But I think absolutely BYD will be one of the companies that continue moving forward. And there'll be, I think, some other Chinese EV makers as well. But yes, I will add it to the list. Absolutely. Please go and subscribe. I'm going to cover so many stocks on that channel, and I'm going to be covering stocks that you guys recommend. I'm going to be covering stocks that are getting a lot of traction and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun time. Thank you, Abby, for subbing to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Good morning, Blake. Yeah, his hair was crazy. I don't know what happened. What happened there? Am I averaging down on my Palantir position? My average, no. If I would buy in at current levels, I wouldn't be able to average down right now. Put it that way. But my plan is to continue to dollar cost average. We're going to have to see what happens. If it drops significantly and we do start seeing that $15 range again, I'll be adding more than just dollar cost averaging. I'll be, loading up, whatever that means for me. Obviously, everyone's financial situations are different. But yeah, not really looking to average down necessarily at the moment. I am trying to balance loading more shares and accumulating, because that's the phase that I'm in, with not letting my average get too high. But that's just superficial, isn't it? Because if I believe in Palantir for the long term, and my outlook for this company is very much 10 plus years, then I don't need to worry so much about my average at this point if I think that it's going to be worth way more in the future. And in 10 years' time, what's the stock price going to be? But equally, when you look at your account and you see your average going up, you're a bit like, So that's my 2 cents. No, I didn't. My hair just always looks darker when it's down for some reason. I never dye my hair. Never, never. Do you still have the dividend portfolio? Check out, I do portfolio updates on the channel, so you can see exactly what I have in my portfolio, but very high level quickly, I have 3 portfolios in my life. I have my cryptocurrency portfolio, which I won't get into. I have my main current portfolio, which has Tesla, Palantir, Alphabet, Amazon, and a few UK dividend stocks plus an ETF. So yes, I do have dividend stocks in there. They're not very large compared to my Tesla and Palantir. And then I have in a separate account an S&P 500 ETF called VUSA, which also pays a dividend. And yes, you are absolutely correct. It was indeed Unilever, and I didn't even remember that I was getting that. So true passive income happening right there. Very nice. Yeah, he's doing something. I don't know if that something should continue or not, but he should get a sponsorship with a shampoo or conditioner. Bitcoin and Palantir enthusiast here like you. Yeah, big into Palantir. Research this company along with Tesla literally constantly. And I just try and provide you guys with the latest information and just valuable information to help. I'm not trying to like advise anyone what to do. I'm just showing what I'm doing. And then if that information is valuable because you're also investing into this company, then I can save you time, you know, which is great because I'm doing it anyway. Bitcoin, don't have. I am bullish on cryptocurrency in general, but I don't have Bitcoin. Your content is really good. Lots of research behind it. Are you a full-time investor? No, I'm not. Thank you, by the way, for saying that. No, I'm not a full-time investor. I would love one day. And if anyone wants to reach out to me that has any sort of insight into how I would get to this point, I'd love one day to be more integrated into the investing world. I'd love to be able to go on to like TV shows and radio and help educate people about how investing is good and how like people can build wealth even if they've not come from wealth and stuff like that. That's my aim. But yeah, thank you for the support. Good morning, Dark Star. Thank you for being here. We've got Mickey in the house, valued channel member. You can become a channel member too if you want to. Completely up to you. There's different tiers with different perks. Honestly, just appreciate you even turning up to these live streams and watching my videos. But thanks, Mickey, for coming. Absolutely. I love going live. I was really anxious about doing it at first, but now I've done a few every single weekday, Monday to Friday. I'm really enjoying it. And it's a chance for me to interact with you guys a little bit more like live, which is very, very cool. I really like that. What is the channel? The new channel is here, Stock Speak. Go and subscribe. It is not replacing this channel. Nothing's changing on this channel. I will still be posting often, doing lives, everything like that. It's just a new place for me to talk about other stocks. Because if you never had a YouTube channel, YouTube doesn't like you experimenting too much. If I were to start throwing videos about all different stocks on the channel, the videos wouldn't get pushed out as much and it would be very confusing for people like, what is this channel? So I'm just creating a whole separate channel, and that will be the place that you can suggest, Hayley, can you look into PayPal? Can you look into SoFi? Can you look into this? That's the place that I'll be doing that. So leave your suggestions for videos for stocks to cover, and it will happen on that channel. I spoke about it anyway. BYD are barely overlapping into Tesla's car business, will not affect Tesla. I think they're one of the companies that are doing very well. I don't think that they will make Tesla go out of business or anything like that. Infor is still buying. Had an average of 9 in one account. Now it's up to 11 with my recent buys, but more share is more important. Yeah, accumulation, absolutely. And if we think that this company is going to grow and be bigger in the future, then we shouldn't be so concerned on the short term. We need to look long term delayed gratification. It's early days. Solana, no, I don't hold any Solana. I do not hold any Solana. I only have like two positions in my crypto portfolio, and one of them makes up like 98% or something crazy. Palantir at 17.50 is funny for now. Run to buy before it's going to $25 soon. Yeah, I'm eager to see what happens, because for a long time, and I say a long time, in the few like 6 months, previous 6 months, we've always had a catalyst that is very upcoming. NHS contract, gap profitability, lead into the S&P 500 inclusion, this. We did have that Titan contract due the end of this year. That has now been pushed January to March next year. So it doesn't feel like we're waiting on anything. But that's good, because now people are, loads of different reasons obviously move a stock down, but people are suddenly becoming very short-sighted. We need to think long-term. These things are aligned. They're coming. We are going to get the S&P 500 inclusion. We are going to hear about the Titan contract. We are going to hear about more partnerships, about AIP and all of that. It's just not happening right now. So it feels like, when is that going to come? But we can't predict these things. Do you think both Palantir and Fujitsu stock will go up before tomorrow's opening bell? I mean, potentially. Who knows what the stock does? Sometimes you get really good news and the stock goes down and you're thinking, hang on a second. Sometimes it works the other way. At the moment, pre-market 17.24. Let's see. This is good news, though. This is another one of those contracts that establishes Palantir as being so valuable, being able to upsell, being able to expand, and we've got that global element of it too. Good morning from California. Thank you for joining. Going to work. Have a fantastic time at work, and thank you for coming to the live stream beforehand. Do I sell covered calls or secured puts? No. I am looking to learn about it and then decide if I actually want to dip my toes in at all. But right now, no. Greg, I appreciate you. Thank you. You did not have to stay up to watch me live from Australia. But thank you. That means a lot. That's really cool. And you guys probably have nice sunny weather out there right now when it's cold and horrible and wet and raining here. PayPal. You read my mind. PayPal will absolutely be covered on the new channel very soon. Very, very soon. Still hold 5,000 shares of Palantir. Glad to be on the average 15.50. That's impressive. 5,000 shares. That's a pretty, well, depending on your portfolio, obviously, I feel like that's pretty substantial. And an average of 15.50. Nice. Have I looked at... Let me just check that second ticker symbol. Got Rocket Lab. I know that first one. AB. Oh. This microphone's getting in my way. Oh, okay. I've looked a little bit into Rocket Lab. Very, very quickly. I want exposure to SpaceX. Can't have that because it's not public. I don't have enough money to actually invest into that. You know, people obviously invest into it, but publicly I can't. So Rocket Lab does pique my interest a little bit. Haven't done too much research. And as for the second company, no, I have not. But we will probably cover both of them on the new channel. And I am looking to add a new position to my portfolio soon. I've got some further research to do, but I basically want exposure into the personalized medicine, gene editing world, because I think that's one of these areas that is going to be revolutionized soon. And I'll talk about this in a separate video, I'm sure, but I see potential there, really see potential there. And I want to get in early and add a position. I'm just trying to establish which company to actually add Yep, I'm looking. I'm doing my research, and I'm going to share my research on my Patreon. And then I'll talk about which company I'm adding, obviously, on the channel when I do add, if I add. We're going to start rounding this up soon. Got more Palantir today. First time that you got the dip. Nice. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And remember that most of the money is made in the stock market when we have the dips. Those people that can think like that and think about the opportunity it presents rather than getting emotional about losing money, those are the people that go on to make a lot of money. "29 degrees and very humid." Yeah, I can imagine. I like that though. That's my favorite type of weather. Yeah, Robinhood. I think it's only crypto right now though, isn't it? They are opening to, I think they're opening an app to invest in the stock market in the UK soon, but I could be wrong. Okay. So there's funds where I can get exposure, and I can do that with as little or as much money as I want. I have to have a look into that. Thank you. We've also got the CTO of Palantir being a chairman on what's the oh my god, the stock ticker symbol DNA. What's that company called? Ticker symbol DNA. I could just look it up, but I want to think about it. Yeah, I don't know much about that company, but I am going to be researching a lot of these. Okay, we're gonna round this up soon. We're gonna round this up any minute. Thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate you always coming to these live streams as and when you can, hanging out with me, talking about different stocks, Palantir mainly. I hope you find them valuable. And of course, I will be back on Monday with another live stream, and I will have videos over the weekend. And like I said, next week will be the start of the new channel, which I'm excited about. So thank you for all of your support. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a fantastic weekend. And I'll see you guys live on Monday. And in the meantime, I'll see you in videos over the weekend. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.